Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18.
Immerse yourself in an extraordinary experience as Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18, which served as a definitive platform that showcased conversational solutions, customer experience breakthroughs, and digital trust strategies. The conclave was designed to propel the future of cloud communications and digital identity. The conclave revolved around the key themes of conversations and trust, delving deeper into the latest trends, innovations, and insights across various industries. The conclave was initiated with a welcome address from Mr. Milind Pathak, Executive Vice President, Product and Marketing of Root Mobile, who provided insights into the inspiration behind Root Amplify.
India, for sure, all of you know, is at an inflection point. Our digital payment ecosystem is in a folklore of our global economy, right? By the time I finish my speech, the millions of transactions that would have happened on UPI would have changed. And my industry colleagues and all of you know it, right? What you perhaps don't know is we are targeting 1 billion transactions a day. We are somewhere close to 450, half a billion transactions a day. In the next 2 to 3 years, we are going towards that part. What's the inspiration behind Root Amplify? We did it last year, first time. This is a second edition. With a large power comes a large responsibility. As one of the biggest players within the CPaaS industry, not only in India, with after Proximus now, we're in the top 3 players globally on CPaaS from a sheer volume perspective. I think it's our responsibility to create an ecosystem which ensures that there are conversations which are held to talk about the growth, opportunities, pitfalls, issues that we need to take care. So for us, we believe that this Root Amplify is the largest platform to ensure that the future of digital communication is getting discussed and explored. There are 2 themes that you'll hear across all our panelists, our friends, our colleagues in the industry, and that is about communication and that's about trust, right? Be it GDPR in Europe, be it HIPAA in US for health, be it DPDP, which is all soon to come. How does it really impact is an area that perhaps all of us will need to converse and talk about and make our platforms, technologies, processes ready for it. And last but not least, I said, as a global leader, we thought this is our responsibility to ensure that we drive it not only in India, but this globally too.
CNBC TV18's Lata Venkatesh engaged in an insightful conversation with Mr. Rajdeep Kumar Gupta, MD and Group CEO of Root Mobile, as he shared invaluable insights into his entrepreneurial journey.
How did you break out of a salaried job and come to being an entrepreneur with limited means?
I think journey which I've started in 2003, and when I see myself today here, I think it's a roller coaster ride. I know people think it's for an entrepreneur, the rights, I've been successful, I built a company, but trust me, I built that entire base of Root Mobile through that 486 PC. Just to share that PC was not the new one, it's a second-hand PC. So I built the entire Root Mobile first platform using that. As an entrepreneur, after 20 years, I can say that whatever I have achieved, I'm really excited, I'm very happy. I think in one life, a tech entrepreneur has a different vision. Bootstrapping a company, then scaling a company to, I think the first challenge was reaching a $1 million. And for every...
How much did you first put in? A computer and how much money?
I think total investment I have made in this company is just 1 lakh rupees. That's the only money
I think this calls for a round of applause. Do you know the market cap of his company? It is 10,000 crores today from a 1 lakh investment.
And I think that's a one thing which I always keep on sharing with the young entrepreneurs also. Like it's all about your ideas and your vision. It's not about you really need to raise so many rounds of funding, and you are only successful when you raise fund. It's a secondary. If your vision is right and your product is right and you understand the customer problem, and you're actually solving the customer problem in the right time, right way. And 2003, when I came to India, leaving my job, I think during that time, I realized India as a country has a huge potential in communication sector. And I think that really worked well for me. And I think reaching $1 million was the first target, for me. And it took almost 3 years to reach a revenue of 8 crore, you know. And the day I reached 1 million, I realized I'm doing something correct.
What would you look at? Do you look at
No, I think volume.
qualitatively different product? Would you look at volume? What would you?
As a founder, I'm very clear that innovation is the key for our success. We are not here to just focus on one area of our growth, whether it's a volume or margin. Like if we do things right, the kind of potential we have on new channels, whether it's email, WhatsApp, or RCS, if we do things right, there are huge opportunity we can get to increase our margin. We really need to build something which solves customer problem. I think Root Mobile customer first approach is something we always want to live with. And in coming days, I think innovation is something which we are going to focus on.
Moderated by Network 18's Mrudu Bhandari, an esteemed panel of experts delved into the subject of redefining customer engagement in the digital age.
Vivek, if I can start with you, give us a sense of the larger trends. We are seeing that a lot of the customer conversations are moving now from transactional to very, very personalized and moving towards building long-term relationships. How are enterprises navigating this? And what are some of the big challenges that are sector agnostic that enterprises are facing?
If you look at large conversations which have been happening on a repetitive basis across all industry sectors, I think over the last 10 years, they have already moved to bot and conversational AI now. And this has been a success story for India for a very long time. Of course, banking, telecom, then e-commerce followed this trend, and they really gained efficiencies out of it. What became really challenging later on is for further sectors and niche segments to adopt this, because they needed 3 components in the journey. And those 3 components, we call it DIA, which is data, insights, and action. And if you look at, Indian economy, right? You've got more than 60 million SMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises. They contribute to 30% of Indian GDP and more than that. What really trend that I'm seeing, that cost of putting the technology in this virtuous loop is really falling down.
Right.
Companies are able to really go for it. And government is also supporting in a lot of sector with platformization trend. So these are the trends that I can talk about.
So Shar, what is it that businesses can do to remain consistent in all the conversations that they are creating in this omni-channel world? Because they are meeting consumers over WhatsApp, over SMS, over email, over voice, over social media. How do brands then ensure that the brand voice remains consistent and the user experience doesn't change from one channel to the other?
Keeping consistency across various channels is that you have an omni-channel platform which is able to sync up across channels on a real-time basis. So when I say that if you're sending a communication over voice, it should be through the same platform, which also serves for WhatsApp, SMS, RCS, and any other channel which any enterprise would like to deploy, which means a real-time sync-up happens. A communication, if lost on one channel and initiated on any other, is able to pick up from there. They pick up the thread and start and builds it from there. So this is one way of enterprise ensuring that they have consistency in the communication. It's also essential that such platforms are backed by a central data repository which is profiling the user at all times. So all the communication which is happening on omni-channel syncs up not only across channels, but across to a platform which is profiling the users.
We are also an omni-generation nation. So if I can come to you, Kiran, in the QSR space, how are restaurants, businesses, ensuring that the digital communication is consistent, is very quick, because really time is money. What's the big shift been in the last 2 years in particular, and how do you see this shaping up in future?
Post-COVID, the adoption of technology is more not only on the online side of it, it's more on offline also. It's in the brick and mortars. So if you ask for last 2 years, if you see in QSR sector, there is more of in-store digital experience which is getting created. What happened is a decade back when online channels came, there are so many online platforms, aggregators came, and most of the brick and mortar business moved towards the online business. So significant amount of business is online. And when it comes to a restaurant, there was nothing digital. So now if you see from last 2 years, most of the QSR industry is moving towards digital in-house adoptions like self-ordering kiosk. This is helping mutual both for the restaurant as well as the consumer. Consumer has more choice. He can look into what exactly he want to buy, and they are in fact buying more and right choices.
So this has a direct impact on revenues?
Yes, yes. There is, the check sizes have increased. If you see in QSR, there will be a beverage of carbonated drinks. But now if you see people choose for cold coffees, other sides, and they will try to see other products.
Are we going to be moving to things like facial recognition anytime soon?
Yeah, see, as a POCs, technology is very well available. It also has a concerns of privacy, as per government regulations we have to go. Technology, there are many ways to recognize the customer, but which is right technology and which is acceptable is very important.
Right.
For example, biometric, which is been used from last 2-3 decades. But still people refuse to use their biometrics. So we should also see the security part of it and privacy part of it and take decisions.
Okay, Anjani, coming to the banking sector. Now, how did sectors like banking go from this extremely secure, legacy sort of slow-moving environment to now being open, having seamless channels, chatbots, virtual assistants, digital branches? What's been the biggest shift that you've seen in the last 2 or 3 years? And as far as customer engagement is concerned, at HDFC Bank, what is the next frontier that you're trying to crack?
From our perspective, over the last few years, we have been going where our customers are. So if we just follow that philosophy, initially customers used to come to our bank branches. Then we moved to virtual channels where virtual relationship managers would call you. Then we moved to net banking, mobile banking, where customers would come and interact. There was agency banking that was pushing the envelope to rural India as well. But now it is slowly moving to a level where customers are able to converse with us digitally almost for the entire part of their banking experience. We already have customers, more than 2/3 of our customers who are engaging with us either on touch, type, tap, or talk channels all across. And they are able to get serviced completely. Today, if you swipe your credit card from HDFC for making a transaction, let's say for 10,000 rupees, and the limit on your card is 8,000, this transaction will get declined. And all of a sudden, you will get a message on your phone which will say that your transaction got declined because the limit was lower. Would you like to increase your limit? And when you tap on that, you will be able to go through seamlessly, increase your limit, and redo the transaction. Same is now.
And this is possible within a chat interface like WhatsApp?
Yes, it is possible. So you swipe it and you will get it.
So lots of convenience there, but is there any trade-off to security? Any larger risks that we are taking as consumers because we are, just maybe by mistake sometimes pressing a button on WhatsApp to say, yes, increase my limit, but I actually did not want to?
Yes, so we have to be very careful. The easier we make it for our customers, sometimes we see that, it's also being misused by many others. How many times have you got a phishing message which says that, click here to pay your electricity bill? You click and then you gave all your credentials and somebody gets that detail and misuses it. We are also safeguarding this entire experience so that the people who are using it, their identity is properly secured and we know who is using the phone at that point of time.
Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18. Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18.
Further, Arzan Singh Purwala, Head of Partnerships at Meta, took center stage, guiding the audience and shedding light on emerging trends in conversational engagement. Next up, Abhinav Jha, Head of Strategic Partnerships at Google, talked about how brands are building richer, safer, and more connected experiences for their customers.
Diksha Yadav, product expert Root Mobile, shared a demo on Root Mobile's RCS feature.
I'd like to start with a quick question. I'd like to understand how many of you have experienced RCS messaging. Can you please raise your hand? Wow. 1 in 2 users go for search functionality. And having said that, search to RCS, which is seamlessly transitioning from search engine to RCS chat in just 1 click. This is majorly beneficial for brand discovery, specifically for customer care use cases, right? So any one of you in the banking domain or in retail industry, as an example, could route their customer service traffic onto RCS using search to RCS feature. Now, let me explain it how it works. So all you need to do is type your brand name followed by customer care on Google Chrome search engine, and you'd see an option of featured snippet which says chat with live agent. When you click on chat with live agent, it would redirect you onto the brand's handle. That's how search to RCS typically works. I'd like you all to experience search to RCS now. Anyone who's using an RCS-enabled Android devices, I'd request you all to open your Google Chrome and search for Root Mobile Customer Care or Root Mobile Customer Service. So while you're searching for Root Mobile Customer Care, you'd see an option of Chat with Live Agent. I'd request you to click on Chat with Live Agent. If your device is RCS enabled, it would redirect you to RCS handle of Root Mobile, and you can seamlessly chat with our bot. And there's an option of connect to live agent as well. For those who do not have an RCS enabled handset, what typically would happen is that there is a fallback mechanism that is added, and it will take you to probably contact us page of that particular brand. So in our case, it is going to take you to Root Mobile contact us page. Moving on to a new feature, user-initiated conversations. This is Pune Metro bot that we are talking about, wherein what a user does is basically they go to a metro station, they scan the QR code that is placed on a kiosk there, and people who have RCS-enabled devices, they get redirected to Pune Metro handle, and they can complete the ticket booking journey there, and the ticket is on their phone. They can just flash the ticket and sail through. To help you all experience this sort of a journey, I would again request you all to, take out your phone and experience our bot journey that we have created by scanning the QR code that you're able to see on the screen. Okay, thank you so much. That's just the beginning, and let's work together and explore more beautiful use cases on RCS. And thank you all for participating with us.
Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18. Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18.
Building upon the insightful dialogue, Network 18's Mrudu Bandari hosted a distinguished panel of experts highlighting the revolutionary role of generative AI in enhancing customer experiences.
Gen AI for customer experience is still pretty new to most organizations. We are still at the nascent stage of figuring out what all we can do for the consumer of tomorrow. But maybe we can lay the context with opening comments from each of you, about 30 seconds each, on where you are in your Gen AI journey within the organization and with respect to customer experience as well.
In terms of the whole onboarding experience, the kind of risk assessment, health-wise, financially, the personal profile, how Gen AI can actually create a very summarized, all-inclusive summary sheet for the assessor to take a very quick decision. How do we handle customer grievance, by parsing through the entire videos which we collect during the onboarding process, the interactions which we had in the life cycle, and it gives a much more context or a better context for the agent who is handling the grievance or the query of the customer. And of course, in the claim settlement, the kind of volumes I just mentioned, I think a very fair amount of deployment which we have already started there.
Sammy, first, where is Root Mobile in its own journey of adopting Gen AI for customer experience? And second, when it comes to your customer base across the world for that matter, what are some of the big trends you are seeing in adoption of Gen AI for enhanced customer experiences?
So as Root Mobile, it's a little different for us because we are a CPaaS platform provider. We are a data processor, so we have to proceed with a lot of caution. We don't own the data, but we do build in these Gen AI solutions into our own products and services that then help our customers enhance their interactions with their end customers. We have to do this carefully, as I said, because data security is paramount for us. We have to be extremely cautious. Some of the trends we are seeing is a lot of businesses adopting these personalized solutions, communication services, to bring them to their customers on even a small scale, because it's so easy for them to take, for example, let's say a chatbot and just deploy it for their own internal purposes. And that's where we are building these into our products. On the other side, we're using it internally for a lot of operational enhancement on our side, automating customer support, a lot of our monitoring of our infrastructure, of our services, cybersecurity, data theft detection, things like that. Gen AI is very good when you use the right tools to do some predictive analysis and identify issues before they pop up.
Well, Vivek, give us a sense then of, when you look at the future, you look at areas like financial services or you look at areas like retail, what is that big watershed moment of using Gen AI for customer experience going to be, the UPI moment that financial services have seen in India, perhaps?
Whenever we talk to customers, right, I think, again, if I had to say 5 years ago versus today, technology is there. I think what is really, really important to define that watershed moment is to go back to the basics. We always ask them, why is it that you're doing Gen AI, right? It's like, are you on this bandwagon because everybody's there? So we try to really define what does experience mean for you and for your brand. I think once that is defined, then, trying to understand what is that watershed moment, what is that, that breakthrough becomes much more easier and becomes a much more scalable concept, right? But if you ask me, I'm a big watcher of OTT and, some of the programs that I see out there. There is this entire thing about Gen AI, not only able to understand what we are sort of conversing in terms of text or, in terms of video or in terms of images. But I think it's when it's really going to try and sort of not based on past trends, but really based on what is likely to happen in the future, right? And that's where the breakthrough is coming through. Like not seeing what I typically buy and therefore give me suggestions or recommendations, but really saying that me as an individual, considering all my, sort of nuances, what is it that I'm likely to buy, right? And not my past trends. I think that is where we are seeing some major breakthroughs happening based on data, but not looking at only the past things. So that is where I believe it'll land up.
Emily, coming to you, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to retail, of course, very, very competitive. Very fragmented in a market like India. What does it take then to create really amazing and seamless experiences for customers across physical and digital channels? And where is Gen AI playing a role for you there? Are you seeing a lot of generative AI being used to create customer loyalty and retention? Because I know that the Landmark Group has, always done some very interesting things around garnering customer loyalty. So give us a sense of what's happening there with technology.
The first thing to even use Gen AI is you need to get your data right. So today, like probably a lot of us will have systems for years. It's like there in the legacy. And then we need to connect all the data together to have that good, I would say, single view of the customer. From there, we pull out, the shopping experiences, what they like, the trends they follow, what kind of things they want. So when you have that information and you are using, let's say we plug in Gen AI, what you can do is we can generate the type of recommendations in your shopping journey. Example, while I'm shopping, and the company would have data about what I previously bought, I could possibly even ask a chatbot inside and say, what will look good on me? I would upload my photo, and it could match an outfit that I'm selling. And when I look at it, I see how I enjoy, what I look like, and I believe that's the future of shopping. So this is how I see Gen AI that's going to transform, and it's really based on past data, and also to predict what kind of clothes would suit me, because they know that maybe I'm a trend seeker, maybe I'm a basic kind of clothing person. So it really depends on that.
Let's also talk about the marketing function and, at Godrej Consumer Products. Are you leveraging Gen AI to create customer-facing content, communication, digital communication that is different from what it used to be? How has that game changed for you, and what next from here on?
I think as an FMCG company, obviously you're focusing pretty solely on marketing to make sure that the proposition of your brand is being portrayed in the most appropriate fashion and it resonates with the consumers that we want to reach. So any form of marketing collateral is absolutely important for us. And for us, as we have now kind of started off this journey of dipping our feet and exploring what Gen AI can do in the space of marketing. So if you look at, traditionally you kind of get into concept design, and then you start writing brand briefs, and then get into storyboards, mood boards, and then, getting into the shooting of the ad, etc. So a lot of those steps, we have started looking at how can you kind of refine and fine tune the content and the storyline that you're trying to create to make sure what you're creating is having that greater impact and greater correlation to the target segment that we would want to reach out into the market.
All right. Look forward to keeping track of what you all do in the next 5 years then, and we hope to recoup in a couple of years and find out what is exciting with Gen AI and customer experience. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Padma Bhushan and Khel Ratna awardee Saina Nehwal took the audience on an inspiring journey as she shared her experiences and the invaluable life lessons she has gained along the way.
In your journey, if you were to pick up 3-4 things about yourself that led you to where you are, what would those qualities be?
First thing and very important thing for everyone is doing hard work. Hard work is what got me here. I'm not the most skillful player. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा मेरा game पूरा भागम भाग है, Nadal की तरह. I like to run a lot and pick up a lot of shuttles. I'm a great rally player, but at the same time, I tried to work upon my skills. Of course, if my opponent is very good at the so I try to do that maybe not 100 times, maybe 1,000 times या उससे ज़्यादा करते रहो जब तक आपको ना नींद भी आ रही हो तो उसको खेलना है. It should fall on the other side. So when you want to achieve something, you have to make sure that you're good at everything. So it is not like a Saina is good at forehand and not at the backhand. You have to make yourself so strong all over कि जो opponent है 10 बार सोचना चाहिए उसको कोर्ट पर उतरने के बाद कि कहाँ मैं point लूँ. When I play with someone who is world number 1 or a world champion, obviously I'll have a doubt saying that will I be able to do it.
Right.
But when I'm on the court and I have worked hard on everything, then it's going to be anyone's game. So you have to be so strong mentally here then. It's no more a physical thing that is going to work on the court. It's going to be mental work then.
Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18. Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18.
In a special keynote address, Rashesh Shah, chairman of Edelweiss Group, shared his insights on communication in the digital age and how organizations can effectively adapt to the rapidly evolving landscape.
AI is going to impact communication in a big way. We already started seeing that, whether it's communication within the organization, whether it's communication with the customers, AI is starting to really impact in a big way. Data is obviously a big part of AI. After data, communication and customer experience is the second biggest part of AI applications end use case that is going on in the US, including not just responding, reacting to customer queries, but even anticipating customer queries. Customer experience part of AI is one small use case in communication, but I think this digital communication can really transform customer experience, customer satisfaction with the product, because increasingly our products are not the product. The phone is not a phone. The phone is also an experience. And a lot of that is going to depend on digital AI technology. Digital communication, AI in communication is going to be a game changer. We are maybe in the early part of the next 20, 30-year journey on that. It will lead to cost effectiveness. It will lead to much, much higher quality customer experience, but it will also require a lot of thoughtfulness. How the data is used, how the customer information is used, how we interact with the customer, in what format, in how they want it. All of those guardrails will also have to evolve, because this efficiency of digital communication is useless without the guardrails, without the governance guardrails that we can put together. And I think maybe forums like this, maybe people like all of you will help all of us evolve that.
Dr. Biswajit Mahapatra, Head of Customer Solutions, CIO Advisory, India and South Asia at Amazon Web Services, delivered a compelling presentation on how generative AI is revolutionizing the customer experience landscape.
Joe Emanuel, Senior Vice President of Product and Pre-Sales, Root Mobile, shed light on how generative AI is redefining customer experience.
Some of the insights, where do this Gen AI help in a typical conversation scenario where there is a brand to user or user to brand communication is required. When there is a complex queries or complex questions to handle, that is where the Gen AI help predominantly, because more unstructured data you can feed into the database or the data source, and that can retrieve data from such data source, and we can showcase that. Other important aspect when it comes to the Gen AI is how do we prevent the misuse of that? If you are seeing a scenario in a typical conversation, it starts with a menu-driven approach. Without Gen AI, you will have the option to select from a particular menu option whatever the static response available or which is linked to that particular menu option will be able to respond back to that user. If you are asking any questions which is beyond that menu option, then typically it will redirect to a live agent or there is no response. But when it comes to a Gen AI-powered situations, you can have just like a person-to-person conversation, you can have the conversations with a chatbot and you will be able to get the response back.
At Root Amplify 2.0, one of the standout topics was Ocean, the Omnichannel Experience Automation Network, designed to personalize the entire customer journey for deeper engagement.
Mohammad Hafsal, Growth Strategist at N18M, shared valuable insights on how Ocean delivered success to N18App's platform.
N18App is a vernacular learning platform in India that helps people to secure jobs in both private and government sectors. N18 is trusted by 10 million users, offering a wide range of courses, including competitive exams and skilling courses. Competitive exam means there are several courses, including PSC, SSC, RRB, banking, CAD, MAT, and so on. Over the last 3 years, we have experienced and experimented with several WhatsApp marketing automation tools. And we started our hunt for the best, the right platform to fix the complexities involved within it. In fact, I can simply define me as I work for a startup within a startup of startups. So that's simply I can tell about Entry. So we do have different co-founders within and different founders, different managers within an entity. So that's how Entry is working. The WhatsApp business accounts, and we have almost 15 to 20 different accounts there, and Root Mobiles helped us in order to create 30 plus different accounts for different categories. And as I told, RML provides a detailed individual analytics, including statuses like sent, delivered, read, replied, restricted, and failed. This is exactly what we needed. Now look how the Ocean delivered success to our platform. We got a 50% of increase in our user engagement and 25% conversion rate and 12% increase in the entire revenue. So that's an incredible achievement that we got after onboarding Root Mobiles. And there is something that we are focusing. We are focusing on omni-channel marketing automation tools to streamline our marketing automations, especially different operations. We are thrilled that Entry has been selected for Meta's Gen AI Alpha AI pilot program, especially designed to boost lead generation in WhatsApp and in partnership with, especially with you guys, Root Mobiles.
As the event drew to a close, Mr. Gautam Batalia, Group Chief Strategy Officer of Root Mobile, addressed the audience with his closing remarks, providing insights into the future of cloud communications in India and summarizing the key takeaways from the day.
Together we are on a transformative journey, and today's discussion reaffirmed that we stand at the cusp of digital transformation, particularly here in India. As a country, we are leading the charge in digital payments, and at Root Mobile, we are proud of kind of driving a lot of initiatives as a global leader in cloud communications. Your engagement and insights have been invaluable, and we look forward to making Root Amplify a much bigger success next year. Thank you for this amazing journey with us.
As we conclude this episode, we reflect upon Root Mobile's captivating exploration of CPaaS solutions and the art of delivering extraordinary customer experiences. The conclave provided a unique platform for networking and knowledge sharing, with a strong focus on how cloud communications are revolutionizing businesses on a global scale.
Root Mobile presents Root Amplify 2.0 in association with CNBC-TV18